There's two directions and there's saving face. Saving face. Face. Interestingly, the term fascism, fazza, una fazza, una razza. Face. Quite an important concept in some cultures, in a way that we have not. Where once there was a sense of propriety and dignity, where was once a sense of propriety and dignity? Seppuku, harikiri or harakiri, ritual self-disembowelment as a last-ditch saving face. Can you imagine? Have you heard of Shogun? Shogun was a very famous 1980s media sensation that included at least one book and one miniseries. And ritual suicide was central to the palette. Can we imagine such a thing? That somebody in our society would lose face to such a degree that they in order to preserve their dignity, they would prefer to ritualistically and ceremoniously disembowel themselves. No, we as Americans can't really identify with that. We don't really know what that is. But nevertheless, face qua dignity, face as dignity, is probably a human universal. It's probably like the Magna Carta or something. Human dignity of a tradition, of a history, of a lineage, or the dignity of an individual, the dignity of a family. How about the Hatfields and the McCoys? Face. Fucking hell. There's that one story I remember. It's probably the only impression that I have of this story is from the Gladwell book. And is that the tipping point? I don't know. And the matriarch, as one of the boys was dying from gunshot wounds, and he was screaming out, like, "Mom, I'm dying." She said, "Shut up and die like a man." I don't know whether that was Hatfield or McCoy side, but that's a significant bit of knowledge. Look it up. We will know something about that family and its face. That matriarch yelled at her dying son, "Shut up and die like a man." Face. There are two directions. The one direction is called dogmatism. Dogmatism is a magical land wherein you can have any theoretical posit for free. All you do is simply proclaim, "I have this knowledge." Deal with it. Oh, is that connected to other knowledge? Let me tell you about all the ways that my knowledge connects to itself, all the different things that I know. Good. Tell us about it. What did it cost you? Here's a hypothetical. Suppose there was a book. Let's say it's the Bible. And you simply pick the Bible up and hold it in your hand. Does that mean that you know everything in the Bible? Here's another one. I made reference to this a couple of weeks ago. In Brooklyn, at the Chabad Lubavitch. The Chabad Lubavitch. Sorry for my pronunciation. Is a massive library. And a young scholar, a young Talmudic scholar, was being interviewed. And they asked him, to say a little bit about his lifestyle as a scholar of Judaism. And he was sitting right in the middle of this library, and it's a very old-looking library, and it's like floor to ceiling, leather-bound, old books. I mean, it looks like a law school library or a church library, right? And he has a book in front of him, this scholar, and he has it open to a page, and he's discussing some particular law. It may have been related to keeping kosher. I think it had to do with breadcrumbs and various restrictions and partitions that the kosher doctrine determines. Again, again, I use the word again. Chabad Lubavitch. Or is it Lubavitch? To us gringo Americans, let's say, what is the word? Us shiksas and Gentiles, and what's the more derogatory one? Goy. Goy. For us, kosher law appears utterly incomprehensible because there's some arbitrariness to it, and you can situate the arbitrariness in historical conditions. You can say, well, certain foodstuffs, and particularly certain meats and so on, and you can tell a story about a particular historically situated lifestyle regime, right? And then the justification follows that, well, look, is that kind of anachronistic? Is this a vestige of religion? Is this outmoded? Is it washed? Is it rinsed? The old kosher law crashed out? No. Because a Jew, chances are, a Talmudic scholar is not thinking about breadcrumbs. It's much more likely that they are thinking about the magnitude of the law and the identity of the law with the word. The scholar gestures at these books. Here, I'll make it dramatic. I'll show the books that I have in right next to my goal for my life, he says, is to study and to learn all the laws contained in these books. The magnitude of the law and the word. I mean, that has ontological to it, right? Those books are heavy. How many words are those? And you know what? Not only the words, every letter, every character of those texts represents immense exertion of thought. That is the meaning of the law. So, when that man is 90 years old, I will walk, because I'll be about that age too. I will walk across Prospect Park to Chabad Lubavitch, and I will find that man. And I will sit down with him, and we'll have a cup of coffee and a rugula, or challah. And I will say, dear brother, if you had to teach me something in 1 hour, and we imagine that you have 1 hour right now, what would you teach me? And because I know the magnitude of what that scholar knows, that it represents 80 years of intense intellectual struggle, no matter what comes out of that man's mouth, its axiological standing and metaphysical value in the world cannot be estimated. Because it's likely Cantorian transfinite. That's where the Cantorian transfinite lives. In the immensity of knowledge itself. Does coercion have no place? If the force of coercion alone is power, then the force of coercion plus pure reason is mucklos.